Yo, what's going on, man? Today is October the 25th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. A lot of games to get into today. Not even gonna break all of them down though. We'll get into a couple of the ones that I actually have bets on. I still got to do a little bit of deep diving on some of the late games, but it's a beautiful slate today. I think it's 10 games all together. So we got 20 teams in action. It's the first time this season we have teams on first leg of back-to-backs. So it's something to take into consideration. And I'm excited to jump into it for today. Let's jump right into it, man. As we always do on the show, I'm going to break down, I think, 3 games on the show for today. Not going to get, like I said, not going to get in every single game, but break down 3 of them. Go through a couple of the comments, recap the games, all that good stuff. Recap the picks, and then we'll get up out of here. So last night was a profitable night. The Spurs had a chance to give me a backdoor cover +9, and Blake Wesley blows a reverse layup because he can't use his left hand. That was a tad bit frustrating, but San Antonio did kind of let go of the rope in the second half after starting pretty good in the first half. OKC Denver under 229.5 was easy. That was kind of free. Denver can't shoot the ball from the 3-point line, and OKC's defense is really, really good. I also told you guys I like OKC a lot yesterday. I didn't bet it because I thought the lack of depth at the center position and the power forward position was going to be enough. But yeah, Denver, like OKC won't be dogs too many times this season. I feel terrible for not taking them. They remind me a lot of Orlando 2 nights ago when they were dogs. And I was like, we won't see Orlando as a dog too many times this season. Isaiah Joe does go over his 6.5 points. And Sam Darnold was actually my biggest bet of the night in the NFL. Sam Darnold under his 31.5 pass attempts. Relatively easy winner there. Only bet I put 0.75 units on. The rest of these were 0.5 unit bets. So 3-1 overall. We win about a unit on the NBA season. I'm 6-4 now, and you can see we've lost like just a tad bit of juice because the first day when I went 0-2, those were 0.75 unit plays versus the last 2 days. I've been winning, of course, but they've been 0.5 unit plays. So we'll ramp up as the season goes on, but it's a couple spots that I really, really like today. So I'll go through a couple of the comments real quick, and we're going to jump right into it for today. What's up, Prestigious Prodigy? Says he's first. What up, Justin? Top of the morning, bro. Dallas in here. Good morning. LJ says top of the morning, Chris. 2-0 so far. NBA plays. Keep cashing. Love to hear that. D Johnson says yesterday was a good day. I'm up over 750. Like to hear that as well. Good morning to you, bro. Prolific. I'm gonna send you a shirt. I will get that shirt to you this weekend. He says, good morning, Chris. Went 2-0, feels good. NBA is a hell of a drug, like Dutch would say. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. The under was easy cash, also says. Absolutely was. I don't even think they touched 200 points last night. Guy says excited about OKC this season, as we all should be, man. I think they're gonna make a lot of noise. They're not even healthy yet. What's up, Peasy? Dropping down says morning peeps, keep fading the Raptors and Nets. Neither of them are interested in winning. For Coach Fernando, would make it think like they're interested in winning, but we'll see how it goes. Let's jump into the games that we have on the board for today, man. Let's jump into the game. So first game up, we got Nets and Magic. Line is sitting at 11.5 right now. I think that's the consensus. Yeah, 11.5 is the consensus. I did see a touch 12. It looked like it's coming back down a little bit. It is a 12 out there as well. Total sitting at 215.5. Hasn't really moved too much since I started looking into this game. This is actually one of my, I wasn't attracted out. You guys been around for a while. This is actually open at 10.5. But if you've been around for a while, I'm like not into laying too many big spreads. Like the Boston game yesterday, I was like, I'm not laying that big of a number with Boston. And they come out, win the game by 20 points. I think they went up by close to 30 at one point. But this is a game that I actually like Orlando in. So for Brooklyn, so here's the handicap. Brooklyn, second straight road game to start the season. They're coming off their loss against the Atlanta Hawks, which they did cover the spread. They were getting 7 points, I think, in that game, and they ended up losing, I think, by 4. It was a big fourth quarter from Cam Thomas, who kind of brought them back, almost pushed the game to overtime. For Orlando, first leg of a back-to-back, They did get a win. I'm sorry, first leg of a back-to-back. They play in Memphis tomorrow. So a road game tomorrow, but a home game today. And of course they, got a big win. We cashed +2 against the Miami Heat, and everything after the game was like, this is the standard that we're setting. Like, I think this Magic team is gonna be good this season, man. I like the Magic a lot. So a couple things that really stood out to me as I started looking into this game. First, I think, Brooklyn's, as you can see in the total, Brooklyn's not expected to score a lot of points. I do think they're going to struggle to score. You also got Nick Claxton on a minutes restriction. Like, Nick Claxton didn't play at all in the preseason. I don't think he's just going to come out here and play 30, 35 minutes. And I think that's going to really make it difficult for the Nets to be able to get any kind of, rebounding advantage. Like, I just think that they're going to struggle. So then I look at Orlando last season. They were 24-4 straight up, 22-6 against the spread last season when they were home favorites. They covered 78.6% of the time as a home favorite last season. They were the best ATS team overall last season as well. And as a double-digit home favorite last season, the Magic were 9-0 straight up, 7-2 against the spread. So they were covering these bigger numbers. I love Orlando in this spot, man. The teams did split the last 4 games. Brooklyn won the first 2 last year and covered both numbers. Orlando won the second 2 last year and covered both numbers. But this Magic team, like I said, 24-4 straight up, 22-6 against the spread last season as a home favorite, 78.6%. And like I said, they were double-digit favorites, 9-0 straight up, 7-2 against the spread. Conversely, you look at the Brooklyn Nets, they finished 0-7 straight up, just 2-5 against the number as a double-digit road dog last season, only covering 28% of the time. So it's Orlando minus the 11.5 for me. Trend-wise, I did league-wide trend. I did look at a couple different things. First thing I looked at was since the 2014 season, these double-digit home favorites who won game 1 by 30. They're 12-4-1 against the spread in game 2s, which is 75%. Applies to Orlando today, and it also applies to Cleveland in that game against the Detroit Pistons as well. Then also since the 2002 season, so 2002, double-digit road dogs in game 2s that covered game 1s are just 3-11 against the number. So it's Orlando minus the 11.5 in this spot for me. Like I said, not a guy that typically lays these big numbers, but I think Orlando gets the job done even on the first leg of a back-to-back. All right, so that's that one. I'll go through the comments real quick, and then we'll move on to game number 2. Let's see. He says he loves Denver. Man, Denver, I don't know, man. Thickness says, yep, Chris, no offense, bro. You good. But some games when your energy changes with Cal, you're a fade. It is what it is. You're a fade. It is what it is. No idea what you're talking about, Signa, but that ain't the energy we need, bro. You said something real slick the other day too, and I've been kind of giving you a pass. Don't do that, man. My energy always stays the same, bro. There's a lot of people that'll tell you different. We don't need that energy, man. Don't keep those negative thoughts and comments to yourself, Signa. What up, Malik? He says, morning, everyone. What's up, Chris? Give my Bulls some screen time. Not today. I'm not talking to I played the Chicago Bulls the other day, man. I'm not messing with the Bulls today. I know they get the Bucks that, getting 10 points. The Bucks probably gonna smoke them, but I'm not touching the Bulls today, man. I tried to play them against the Pelicans, and the Pelicans were limping into that game, and they still couldn't cover it. I'm off your Bulls, Malik. Solo says, top of the morning. I like that Lakers gear, homie. Let's make some cash. I'm not betting the Lakers today either, but at least I don't think I will. Magic and nothing here. LJ says Orlando first quarter, fade Brooklyn on the road, first quarter until further notice. So he likes them early. Couldn't talk you off. Good morning, Kristen. Dropping Dime says also like the Nets team total under 102.5. I think they could struggle to score. I do agree. Jeff says hardest working man in showbiz. Shout out to you. What up, Jeff? Appreciate you. Big Smooth says minus 11.5, and he likes Paolo over his 29.5. I like it. Mark says good morning. What's up, Mark? Drew says the Nuggets are butt cheeks. Prolific says shutting down the negativity early. It's too early, man. It's never a time for negativity, early or late. But yeah, stop that, bro. Stop that, man. All right, let's move over to the next game I want to talk about real quick. We got the Philadelphia 76ers that'll be on the road in Toronto today. Looks like, so this line, I think when I was looking at it last night, was at 4.5, and it's moved a little bit now to 5. Looks like 5 is the best number that you can get with it's actually up to 5.5 on some books as well. So some 4.5s out there, some 5s, and some 5.5. So really just depends on what number you're looking at. The total did, I think, move up. I think this opened 218.5. It's up to 219.5. And I'll just jump straight into it, man. So real quick, let me double check something, make sure I got everything, got all my ducks in a row. All right, so Philly plays in Indiana on Sunday, and Toronto plays tomorrow in Minnesota. So first leg of a back-to-back for the Toronto Raptors. This is their second straight home game. They got absolutely mollywopped in that last game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We were on the right side of that 6.5 the other day, and you got a Philly team that's coming off a loss where they got smoked as well, 109-104. They kept it close against the Bucks in the first quarter. Bucks kind of just pulled away after that, though. This is a game, in my opinion, where this was actually my favorite play on the board. One that I actually locked in last night. Kind of wanted to see what a number would move to. Hasn't really moved a lot at all. I like the Philadelphia 76ers. Really wanted to get there with the spread, but I don't think I'm gonna touch it. What I did play though is Philadelphia team total up and over. The number is 111.5. This is a Toronto defense. I mean, this play should make sense if you watch basketball. Toronto gave up 137.3 points per 100 possessions versus the Cleveland Cavaliers last game, picking up right where they left off last season. Cleveland shot 58% from the field. They shot 47% from the three-point line in that game, and they scored 136 points. Now, in no way, shape, or form do I think the Philadelphia 76ers offense without Paul George and without Joel Embiid is anything close to what Cleveland wants to do. And Cleveland's offense is going to be much improved under Coach Kenny Atkinson. They're going to play faster. They're going to shoot more threes. Get Evan Mobley more involved. Like, it's going to be easier for them to score the basketball. But Philly also is going to be able to score the basketball against this version of Toronto's defense. I looked at, just to put some numbers behind it, after the All-Star break last season, the Toronto Raptors was the second worst defense. They were giving up 120.8 points per 100 possessions and allowing teams to shoot 58% as an effective field goal percentage. Both of those numbers were bottom 3. And that's exactly what they picked up, this year. When you got Grady Dick out there, Tyrese Maxey should absolutely have a field day. He can't guard anybody. He's going to contribute on the offensive end, but this is his first year. He kind of getting thrown in as a starter. He's not a real starter in today's NBA. Grady Dick is not. You don't have a lot of rim protection as well. You still got all the injured players. They're still gonna miss time for Toronto. Like, this is gonna be a fast-paced game. I think Philly probably scores 120, 115 points in this game, especially coming off the loss. And if it was a player prop that I like, I really wanted to get there with Maxey. I know his points is like 29.5. He did say after the game the other day that he will have he knows that he'll play a lot better in this game. So I like Philly, especially because they're coming off a loss. But also Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre points sitting at 20.5. Like, I think he could have a humongous game. I think he had 26 in game 1. It's still going to be no Embiid and no Paul George. So I guess if I'm playing on a player prop, it's probably Kelly Oubre Jr. over 20.5 points is what I like here. But official play, Philly, team total, up and over, 111.5. Best numbers over on DraftKings for you guys. Let's see what y'all think about that one. Mark says late this morning because was following up on your members looks. I sent some numbers out because I do think a couple of those might move, Mark. So I wanted to get those out, get those out early. 76 is the win. Philly smashed by. I don't know if Philly gonna smash though. I will say the thing about Philly that they really struggled with, like, this isn't without PG and without Embiid, they're not the greatest defensive team. And I know Toronto's offense, can struggle, but Philly's defense is not going to be playing against, Giannis and Damian Lillard. Ain't no Giannis and Damian Lillard in Toronto. You got Scotty Barnes and Scotty Barnes and what's the point guard name? I can't even think of his name. Quickly. Like, that's what you're gonna have out there. Not a lot of scoring, but it's this Toronto team. right now. So I do think Philly, they only scored 107.1 points per 100 possessions. They shot 45 effective field goal percentage of just 46%, which ranked 25th. Their offense will look a lot better against the Toronto defense. What up, G421? Drew likes the over here. I would probably play full game over as well, Drew, but I focused on the team total specifically. What's up, Chai? Says good morning, everyone. The coach killed 3 of my props, killing my overs. Steph, Jokic, and I don't know who that other person is last night, but we move. Yeah, we move on. Solo says the Raptors are terrible. Lay it -4.5. I think you definitely can lay it here. But like I said, I focus on the team total a little bit more. Not really one to factor in Philadelphia's defense at all. What up, Daff? He says he likes Andre Drummond to get 20 boards, lock it in. I think it's 13.5, and I like that number. I like that number as well. I did look into the Drummond rebounds. Game 1, he had 13 rebounds against the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, Drummond, the 13.5 is actually moving. This is up to 14.5 on FanDuel, and it's starting to be juiced now too. I think this was -110 last night when I looked. 13.5 best number I see is on Fanatics. -130 right now, -131 on Caesars, -135 on DraftKings. I couldn't talk you off that. He might have a double-double at halftime, honestly. Like, I could see Drummond having a first half double-double for sure. Malik says, what do you think about the first quarter over 54.5? Yeah, if I'm playing the first quarter, I'm only looking towards the overs, Malik. I think 54 seems super low too. I might have to write that down. Like, that's 27 apiece. I may even take Philly team total early, just because I think their offense is going to bounce back early. Philly team total first quarter and first half. I'm gonna write that down. I'll look a little bit more into it, send it out to the members if it's something that I do lock in. Appreciate you, Justin. He says he's on the Knicks -5 when he bet it. I saw one up to 5.5, come back down to 5 though. We'll talk about that game when we get through the end. Anthony says he likes LaMelo. He says books forgot how good he is when he's healthy. Got 53 PRA in game 1. And Drop a Dime says he's altered that team total. He thinks they score 123 points at +340. I may have to put that sprinkle in as well, man. Not gonna lie. CG3 says, morning chat. He likes Chris Boucher over his 8.5 points today. Louder him to 10. So taking the 9 and the 10 here. All right, cool. Let's jump into one more game real quick. I like these East Coast games today for whatever reason. The next one is the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks. Line, I think, was 5.5 yesterday. It's coming down this morning. Like, I've been up for about 2.5, 3 hours, and this line has come down. To a lot of money coming in on the Charlotte Hornets in this spot. And I like Charlotte in this spot too, man. Not gonna lie to you guys. I just kind of looking at the game. So you got the Hornets who they beat the Houston Rockets. They beat the Hornets by 5. They were getting 8 points as dogs in game 1. It is the first leg of a back-to-back for the Hornets. They got they got the Miami Heat visiting them tomorrow for their season opener due to Charlotte Hornets. And then on the Atlanta side, they beat the Brooklyn Nets in their home opener, beat them by 4, but didn't cover as a 7-point favorite. They have a game tomorrow. Hold on, they got tomorrow off, but they play in OKC on Sunday for their home opener. So that makes me think, like, for people who don't know, Trae Young is from OKC. Like, he's from Oklahoma. I think he's gonna try to have a big game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Whenever he goes back there, I think he tries to save a little bit for that game. So I like Charlotte +5.5 here. Looking at the head-to-head matchup, Charlotte's played this team really, really well for whatever reason. They've won 7 of the last 10 games in the head-to-head matchup. And I think this version of Charlotte is probably better than the versions of Charlotte that have actually won the last few games. They've also won. The Hornets have also beaten the Hawks 3 of the last 4 times in Atlanta specifically. I know Atlanta on a Friday is typically like a turn-up spot, and that's something that you've been able to find some success with. But I don't like it as much here. I'm not sure how you get there with the 5.5 for Atlanta. I know that they're probably a little bit better defensively. But this line kind of tells me that the odds makers are still a little bit too high on the Hawks, and maybe not as high enough on Charlotte, in my opinion. I think you're getting a little bit of value here. We got to remember something about the Hawks. This team finished 29-54 last season against the number. 34.9% was the worst ATS record in the league, and it wasn't even close. They're already 0-1 against the spread. So can they win the game? Yes. Am I trusting them to win the game by 3 possessions? Absolutely not. I look at Charlotte defensively in that game against Houston, and they held Brooklyn to effective field goal percentage of just 44%, which was actually the 4th best in opening night. So yeah, I'll take the Hornets here, man. I will take the Hornets, thinking that this is the game that they could, absolutely go down in Atlanta and steal. LaMelo looked really, really good. He had a 34-point, I think 11 rebound, 8 assist game or something like that. Somebody mentioned it in the chat. I do think that he finds a lot of success. I know Atlanta has Dyson Daniels, and some other, pretty lengthy defenders, but I don't think they guard LaMelo. And I just like what I saw from Charlotte in game 1, man. I think that they can steal this one. So I did bet Charlotte plus the 5.5 here as well. Did I miss anything? No, I think that was it. I think that was everything I wanted to mention. All right, let's go through the comments here. See what you guys are thinking about this one. Dougie Bones says he likes Scotty Barnes and LaMelo triple-double. Lock it in. Both of them? You like Scotty Barnes to get a triple-double? Okay. So you can parlay those. How is OKC making a statement? Not sure what that means. Dad says he loves this game for props. You gotta love this game for props. Even though I will say, I think both of these teams, and I know it's no D in Atlanta, but I think both of these teams are gonna be better defensively. Like personnel-wise, I think they're gonna be both better defensively. Charlotte held the Houston Rockets, I think, under their team total by like 17 points when I was looking at it earlier this morning. Like this defense for Charlotte, like under coach Charles Lee, is going to be, I think it's going to be a lot better and much improved. And that's why they won the game last game, because when it really came down to it in the 4th quarter, they were getting stops, and Houston couldn't stop them from scoring the basketball. Grant Williams played well. Brandon Miller played well. And of course, LaMelo was there. You got Bridges. They also did, I think they had 15 offensive rebounds, Charlotte did. In Atlanta, while they do have some length, I thought that Houston wouldn't have gave up that many offensive rebounds. And I think Charlotte just continues to play with a lot of effort here. So, like I said, I bet the plus 5.5. What up to my guy, Si? Brandon Miller. No Brandon Miller, right? Is Brandon Miller out? I don't think I saw that. Let me double check it. Oh yeah, Brandon Miller is out. So no Brandon Miller. So now you need Charlotte to be a little bit. Yeah, he's out. Left glute strain. I feel like I didn't see that yesterday. Don't matter. I already bet it now. And the line is moving in my direction. So we'll see what happens. I see Josh Green also listed as a game time decision. He's questionable with Achilles. I know he was ruled out on Wednesday. I don't think that doesn't really matter that much to me, in my opinion. I think even with Trey Mann being there, I think they got enough. I do think they got enough. Atlanta also struggling with, he still got 4 or 5 people on the injury list as well. Drew likes the Hawks -5, so opposite side. Dav says he's going to look at LaMelo over his 7.5 threes. He likes Onyeka Okongwu over his 19.5 points plus rebounds. Said to shared the analysis on his channel. God, I love NBA. Yeah, so Okongwu had a humongous game, right? Let's go look at Onyeka real quick. I think he had. Was he the leading point scorer off the bench out of all the teams? I feel like that could have been. Let's see. Yeah, he had 28 points off the bench, shot 11 for 12 from the field, 92%, and hit all 6 of his free throws was Onyeka Okongwu. So being able to get him at 19.5 is crazy, Dav. That is a hell of a find. I think Atlanta's, Charlotte's defense is improved. I don't know how much. I don't know if they're gonna hold them to, to that, especially in 28 minutes. That feels like a bit of a bargain. I like that a lot, Dav. Looking at Onyeka Okongwu over on his points plus rebounds here. And, we already talked about LaMelo Ball assists. Game 1, LaMelo had 11 assists. on 19 potentials. So for him to get 8 makes a lot of sense here. Let's see something real quick. Last year, he only played Atlanta once, and he had 10 assists on 13 potentials. And that was without Bridges. Without Bridges playing, he was. It was the first game of the season, 25th of October. He had a 10 assist game. Yeah, I like LaMelo. These are two really good looks. That I like both of those. Trae Young will get smothered in OKC. Dougie Bone says, "What up, LJ?" He says, "Chris, get up early like Chris. Get up early like me. Early bird gets the worm first. That's a fact." Janky says, "Any thoughts on the game over?" I just talked about the total, Janky. While I think it could go over, like I do think both of these teams are improved defensively. So as much as I want to play over because it's two teams that you typically don't trust defensively, I'll stay off the total in this one. I need a little bit more data. What I will say is that I was looking into this real quick before I started the show. Totals are 11-5 to the over so far. It's been 16 games played so far in the NBA. Totals are 11-5 to the over. They're going over by an average of 3 points per game. So cashing about 69% right now. If you just played every total over, you'd be a profitable man, 11-5. So just that's what I got for the total, but not anything that I played. G421 says the books still think Charlotte's in tank mode. Derek like LaMelo Ball over his 5.5 rebounds. Says he averaged 7.1 versus Atlanta for his career, 8 games, cleared the 6 rebounds in 6 of his last 7 career games versus Atlanta, 8 rebounds in game 1. Hawks gave up 5 rebounds to Cam Thomas versus Brooklyn. That's a nice look too. I mean, it sounds like a LaMelo points, rebounds, and assists over, but at least maybe a rebounds plus assists over number for LaMelo. I kind of figured people would like LaMelo today, and I actually liked him in game 1 and didn't bet him. Rebounds plus assists for LaMelo. Line is sitting at 14.5. Looks like it's not too juiced. Let's go real quick over here. See where I can find the best number at. A lot of people like LaMelo assists. A lot of people like his rebounds. LaMelo Ball. 13.5. You can get a minus 105 right now on Bet365 for LaMelo Ball over 13.5 points plus assists. This is juiced minus 120 on some other books. I see a minus 125. So best number on Bet365 right now. Makes a lot of sense. Head-to-head last year, he finished with 16 rebounds plus assists. Had 6 rebounds to go with 10 assists in that game. And then, of course, this season, he just had 19 with that's a hell of a low number. I like that number a lot. LaMelo Ball, I might write that down. Because I haven't played a player prop yet. LaMelo Ball over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. Minus 105 on Bet365 for people looking for the best number. Hornets going to sting up the Hawks. Chia says, I hope so. He likes Charlotte plus 5.5 like I do. Jabba says, without Brandon Miller, LaMelo going for 40, 10, and 15. Yeah. Okay. Blunt says, Hornets money line. Hawks can't stop a Cole. I love the over here, though, as well. What's up, Cam? Says, leaning Charlotte, too. Drumming over 14.5 rebounds. I keep my eye out for spaces. Yeah, if I do spaces today, I'll let you guys know when I do it. And shout out to everybody who tuned in yesterday. I think it was only 3 speakers who came up and shared looks, and they were profitable. Impulse gave out Jason Tatum under 2.5 turnovers, parlay with the Boston Celtics money line, which was, I think, close to like even money. That was a winner. And then Godspeed came up and gave out he shared SGA over his 1.5 threes, and that was an easy winner too. So I don't know about Rudy Gobert blocks. I think Keith shared that. I forgot to check that. So yeah, that's what we got there. Let's see what else we saying in the chat. Lane says, "What's up, Chris? Stopping by to say what's up. Drop a like for you. Appreciate that, Lane. What's up, Big Mar? Dougie Bone says, if they put up Trey Mann's lines over whatever his points is, makes a ton of sense with Brandon Miller not being there. He's probably going to fill that void. I like that look a lot. Cam says books holding back on Trey Mann props in this game. I don't see Trey Mann props. Let's see real quick if I can find it for you guys. If y'all can find it, I probably can't find it either. Yeah, they're not available quite yet. Not available yet on any sports book that I have access to. Malik says it's crazy. I thought the books was going to over adjust for Melo, but still getting his assist at 7.5. He likes that look a lot. Malik likes that look there. Daph also says LaMelo's usage rate skyrockets to over 30% when Brandon Miller is off the court. That's nice. So G421, this was actually one of my favorite bets that I didn't make in game one. LaMelo hit 4 threes. I think he shot 4 for 10, 4 for 11. His 3-point prop is 3.5 super juiced or 4.5 plus money. And that number seems about right, man. I know Coach Charles Lee wants him to shoot more threes, but I couldn't get comfortable with him hitting 4 threes in this game. And not that he's not going to, but I was hoping we got a 3.5 at like minus 120-ish. Like I would have been on that, but I think 3.5 is like minus 140. So I didn't quite get there. Dash says LaMelo might even drive the bus home after the game. He's doing everything. So PRA over, it sounds like. I like the rebounds plus assists. I think a little bit more in this game. Ball Talk says he'll lay the 5.5. It says appreciate the show. What up, bro? I hope all is well with you. We on the opposite sides here, though. I did take Charlotte plus 5.5. KP says Kobe White went 0 for 5 from 3. You think he bounces back against the Bucks? Yeah, I would think so. I would love for him to have made a few more shots so I could have cashed with the plus 6 with the Bulls. But Ken, I'm not having super high expectations for the Bulls. I'm not even about to talk about that game. Chia says he just took the over 13.5 on Bet365. Like that one? Yeah, I'm probably gonna play that as well, Chia. I wrote it down on my short list. Drop a Dime says I know we're off the Sixers, but a look I found is Drummond under a half assist. He hasn't cleared this in forever, so no assist for Drummond today. No assist for Drummond today. Okay. All right. Those were 3 big game breakdowns that I wanted to share with you guys. I know it's a lot of other games on the board. I will be doing a show with Cal a little bit later, kind of talking through some of those games. But these were the ones that I felt, like that I've done all my homework and research on. Not anything else I want to look into for these games. I think, just looking at the other games on the board today, some quick thoughts. The Pacers versus the Knicks is going to be super interesting. Like I'm interested to see what happens in that game. Indiana beat Detroit by 6 on opening night, and they host Philly on Sunday for their home opener. So second straight home game, second straight road game. The Knicks lost by 23 in Boston. They host Cleveland on Monday, and this will be the first time that these two teams have played since Game 7, where the Knicks won by 30. Where the Pacers smoked the Knicks by 30. They won that game 121-91. I looked at home favorites in Game 2s that are coming off a loss of 20 points or more in Game 1. This is typically a good bounce back spot. 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the spread according to the Killer Sports database. They're winning those games by an average of 6 points, which is exactly where this line is now. So I think I'm going to sit that one out. I saw the line go up. It opened at 5, went up to 5.5. But now it looks like it's about 5.5. So depending on what you like, I do kind of feel like it's a little bit of an under game. But the Knicks, I don't know, man. It should be a bounce back spot. The Knicks can't rebound the basketball. I still think they're gonna struggle to rebound the basketball. They're gonna be motivated for sure, but I still think they could struggle to rebound the basketball, which is one of their strengths from last season. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't play the game. Nothing else like really stood out to me a whole lot. Golden State, Utah, you got Steph and Draymond being listed as questionable. It's brought that number down from, I think, 4 down to it went all the way down to 1. Looks like money's coming back in on Golden State, pushed it back up to 3. And then I do want to make a bet on Phoenix and LA. Like, I think fading the road team in Game 1, coming off an overtime game, has been a profitable look. So I think the Lakers do probably win and cover such a short number. But I do think Phoenix is out for revenge a lot this season. We'll see how it goes. I haven't bet the game. I got a little bit more diving into doing that one. So just getting back into a quick recap, three best bets I'll leave you guys with. Philly team total over 111.5 is my favorite bet on the board today. This was actually the one that I really liked a lot yesterday. I think you just continue to fade Toronto's defense. It's going to be bad all season. don't have a lot of rim protection, starters that don't play a lot of defense, and they also gonna struggle to score. So I couldn't talk anybody off laying the points with Philly. I just feel more comfortable with them getting to their team total, thinking they can crack 120 tonight, honestly. I did lay the 11.5 just based on some strong trends for Orlando. Even on the first leg of a back-to-back, I think they get the job done, blow out the Brooklyn Nets today. And Charlotte plus the 5.5, another bet that I made. I bet all of these evenly, but Philly team total, I think I like more than anything else on the board so far that I've played. So I'll leave you guys with these three. Appreciate everybody for tuning in as always. Definitely check out the resources. I always talk about these. I'm looking at the eye screen whenever you guys see me look to my left or to my right and your left. So definitely check out, Odds Jam so you can get the best of the numbers. Sometimes there's so much value you just end up getting by just making sure you're shopping around and getting the best number. Always use the Sportsbook screen page over there. 20% off your first month using referral code CBC. Money Baller as well, especially as we start to collect a little bit more data. It's just going to make it a lot easier to handicap the games if you're somebody who likes to handicap the games before the show starts so we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. They still offer 50% off your first month using code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's and 2 N's. So definitely check them out as well. And that'll be the show for today, man. If you're still watching, hit the like button on your way out. If I add more plays, which I absolutely will, like it's 10 games on the board for today, I will share those with the members. The links for all my official plays is in the description of the video as well. All of it's done through YouTube. So yeah, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all those good things. Enjoy your Friday, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.